Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahweh Shai, Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahweh Shai, Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahweh Shai, Kal Halalam La, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash, giving all praise, honor, and glory to the names Yahweh, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father, and the name Yahweh Shai, which is the Son of the Heavenly Father, the only begotten Son, right? Baharakah Kodash, which is the Holy Spirit, which leads us, through this knowledge, guides us, our decision making and all that, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and who lead as examples to the flock of the Lord, examples of diligence, examples of endurance and patience, Salutations also to the Akim sincerely working for that penny a day, for that prize, right? And to the rest of the believers, the men, women, and children who have faith in this word, that faith that is given as a gift, by Yahushai, by the Heavenly Father through Yahushai, through his sacrifice, for the elect's sake. Now this lesson is going to go into, being stable, being established, being anchored, by our faith, as we move into turbulent times. Things may seem, endurable right now, though they're difficult. We may, for the most part, still be able to make certain adjustments, to continue to move forward, but as the prophecies, start to come to pass even more, as the time of Jacob's trouble comes upon us, as the hour of temptation comes upon us, the times will become more turbulent, right? And it's going to take big faith, a sure and stable and anchored faith, to keep us steady in those turbulent waters. So I wanted to get into, being established, being firm, and being certain, of our faith in His truth, because we're gonna need it, and we're gonna be tested. All right, this is Matthew chapter 7, verse 24, speaking about the two foundations. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine, this is the Lord speaking, as you can see, the words are in red. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man who built his house upon a rock. And we know that rock is Yahushai. It says, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. Now the rains that are descending, the floods, the winds, those represent the trial of our faith, right? And those trials will come in the form of famine, in the form of civil unrest, in the form of doubt, in the form of the MOTB, which is that, CHIP, right? These are the things that will come to test our faith, our family not believing and betraying us, we being sold out to the authorities, for the purpose of being put to death. All these different things, will be the rains descending, the floods and the winds coming, right, to test the foundation, of our house, which our house represents what? Our faith, in this truth, right? And the foundation, represents either Yahushai, or as we're going to go down this world. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sands. And the rain descended, the floods came, and the winds blew and blew upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. Right? So the foolish man which built his house upon the sand built his house upon something that was not sure. For example, men and women who put stock in this world and who have faith in this world and have built their hopes and dreams upon the promises of this world, on getting a nice career, a nice house, having a nice car, a nice family, having money. These are the things that they've put their hope in, right? And those things are sand and will wash away when the tribulations come, when the time of Jacob's trouble and the hour of temptations come, right? This is Colossians chapter 2 and verse 6. As ye have therefore received Yahushai HaMashiach the Lord, so walk ye in him, rooted and built up in him, and established in the faith, have ye been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving, right? So this is, continuing what Yahushua said, right? Because he said those who hear this word of mine, and keep it, right? So it says, as ye have therefore received Yahushua HaMashiach, meaning his words, so walk ye in him, meaning you hear his words and you do them, right? So you will be what? Rooted and built up and established in the faith as ye have been taught. If you let's look up that word rooted, right? So the word rooted here is
Strong's G 4492, chridzao,
and it says to root, figuratively become stable, to cause, to strike root, to strengthen with root, to render firm, to fix, to establish, to cause a person or thing to be thoroughly grounded. Your faith, right, your whole being has to be thoroughly grounded in this truth, in Yahushua, right? And when you're grounded, right, in something, you are unmovable, right? It doesn't matter what challenges come that may test your faith, right? What doubts may come along, what difficulties and persecutions may come, right? You are unmovable. You are not swayed by the opinions of men, by the coercions of men, by the temptations of men, such as the MOTB, right? You're fixed, right? And how are you gonna be fixed? Through the faith, as it said, right? Rooted and built up. Let's look up that word, built up. All right, so the word here,
Strong's G 2026, epoikadameo,
all right, so that just means to build upon, to build up, to rear up. So we're building upon Yahushua. Yahushua is that foundation, right? So let's move on, right? So how do we have that faith? All right, this is Isaiah 33 verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, right? So this is a milk scripture. This is one of the foundations that we learn coming into this truth. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, right? So having this truth, right, having this knowledge, this faith, because if you go to that word stability, matter of fact, let's go to it. The word stability actually goes back to faith, right? It's the word amawana, right? And it says firmness, fidelity, steadfastness, steadiness, right? So if you go to the lexicon, it says firmness, right? Security, right? Faithfulness in fulfilling promises, right? And if you go to the root of the word, right, the root of the word is faithfulness, trusting, faithful, trusty. You go to the root of that, right? And you get to support, to confirm, to be faithful, right? To support, confirm, be faithful, uphold, nourish, to be established, to be faithful, to be carried, to make firm, right? Reliable, faithful, trusty, verified, confirmed, made firm, sure, lasting, right? To stand firm, to trust, to be certain, right? To believe in, to stand firm, to trust, to believe. So you have to be certain of the promises, right, that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has made to us, right? And how can we be certain of these things, right? Well, if we go to Hebrews, right, we can see how we can be certain of these promises, right? I'm going to read from Hebrews chapter 6, right? And let me start from verse 16. It says, for men verily swear by greater, and an oath for confirmation is to them an end of all strife, right? So you and somebody, you have, a disagreement, usually you swearing an oath, would be the end of that conflict. Like you say, I swear by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua that I did not do this, or that I will do this, that gives them something higher than you to take hold on to say, okay, this person will not swear by Yahweh, unless he were sure, that he will do this or that he has not done this, whatsoever be the case. And that will be the end of that conflict, right? Because of that oath on Yahweh, right? So it says, we're in Yahweh willing more abundantly. So like him get some light. So willing more abundantly to shew unto the heirs of promise the immutability of his counsel. So we are the heirs of promise. We are the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? Confirmed it by an oath, that by two immutable things in which it was impossible for Yahweh to lie, we might have a strong consolation. Where consolation there goes back to comfort, right? Who have fled for refuge to lay hold upon the hope set before us, which hope, right, we have as an anchor to the soul, both sure and steadfast, which entereth into the veil, right? So this hope, this faith that we have in the promises is what is an anchor for our soul. Let's read that in the NLT. Let's read this passage here in the NLT, right? Reading from verse 17, it says, God has also bound himself with an oath, so that those who receive the promise could be perfectly sure he would never change his mind. So God hath given both his promise and his oath. These two things are unchangeable, because it is impossible for God to lie. Therefore we who have fled to him for refuge can have great confidence as we hold to the hope that lies before us. This hope is a strong and trustworthy anchor for our souls. It leads us through the curtain into God's inner sanctuary. Jesus has already, which is Yahushua, has already gone in there for us. He's become our eternal high priest in the order of Melchizedek, right? So the point is at verse 19, this hope is a strong and trustworthy anchor for our soul, right? What is the purpose of an anchor, right? An anchor, right, keeps you steady while there is a storm around you, right? While the waves crash up against your ship or your boat, the anchor keeps it grounded, keeps it unmovable, keeps it from being capsized, by the things that are going on around it, right? So we have Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, as our anchor. We have his promises, right? He promised him, he swore an oath by himself that he would perform the promises made unto our forefathers, which promise, right, we steadily wait upon, right? This is Psalm chapter 62. Yahweh alone from a refuge from treachery and oppression. Truly my soul waiteth upon Yahweh, from him cometh my salvation. He only is my defense, is my salvation, Salakia. He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense, I shall not be greatly moved. Right? How long will ye imagine mischief against a man? Ye shall be slain, all of you. Right? Because the Esau imagines mischief against us, Right? This MOTB system that he's bringing in is a mischief that he imagines against us, But it says what? Ye shall all be slain, all of you, right? Because Yahushua is coming back as our kinsman redeemer to lay vengeance upon the heathen and redeem his elect, right? It says, as a bowing wall shall ye be, and as a tottering fence. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency. They delight in lies. They bless their mouth, but they curse inwardly. They bless with their mouths, but they curse inwardly. Salah. Yeah, because on the surface, they're telling you that the system that's coming is going to be this really super convenient, secure system, and it's going to be much better than what we have now, and your lives are going to be better, but we know, that behind all of that, behind all of those promises is what is a system that will hold you captive, that will regulate you to everything that you do, right? Monitor everything that you do and oppress you, pretty much, It says, my soul, wait thou only upon God, right? For my expectation is from him. He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be moved. I will be what? Rooted, established, grounded, right? Unmovable. That's the faith, yo. Right? In Yahweh is my salvation and my glory. The rock of my strength and my refuge is in Yahweh. Trust in him at all times, ye people. Pour out your heart before him. Yahweh is a refuge for us, Selah. Surely men of low degree are vanity, and men of high degree are a lie. Right? To be laid in the balance, they are altogether lighter than vanity. Trust not in oppression, which this system is grounded on oppression. Become not vain in robbery, right? If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. Meaning, so what David is saying is what? Don't trust in this world. This world is vanity. He says, men of low degree are vanity. So whether they be poor, they are vanity. Men of high degree are a lie. He says, when you lay them both in the balance, they are altogether lighter than vanity. The word vanity there goes back to nothing. They are lighter than nothing. This world is nothing, yo. There's nothing here for us to build a sure foundation on. Anybody that's building a foundation on this world, you're building a foundation on a lie that doesn't exist. Right? It doesn't exist, yo. In Isaiah 20, I believe it's 28, it speaks about the refuge of lies being swept away by the flood. Right? That flood is the time of Jacob's trouble. That's gonna sweep away all of that, yo. The awe of temptation is gonna sweep away all the refuge of lies. Right? It says, trust not in oppression and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. Yahweh hath spoken once, twice have I heard this, that power belongeth unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Also unto thee, O Lord, becometh mercy, belongeth mercy, right? For thou rendereth to every man according to his work. I believe there was another precept that I have. Right, so we're going to wrap here. This is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 13, till we all come in the unity of the faith and the knowledge of the Son of Yahweh, unto a perfect man, unto a measure of the stature of the fullness of Yahweh Shai, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lay in wait to deceive. Right? So we shouldn't be what? Tossed to and fro. We should be anchored, rooted. Right? So there was something that I wanted to bring up, but it's pretty long. You know, so if brothers have the time, you know, I can just read through a bit of it. Right? The commentary here, I believe it was Matthew Henry's commentary, right? I believe there's this. Yep. Right. It says, what use the people of God should make their hope and comfort, that most refreshing and comfortable hope of eternal blessedness that God has given them. This is and must be unto them for an anchor to the soul, sure and steadfast. We are in this world as a ship at sea, liable to be tossed up and down and in danger of being cast away. Our souls are the vessels, the comforts, expectations, graces, and happiness of our souls are the precious cargo with which these vessels are loaded. Heaven is the harbor to which we sail, which is the kingdom, not, you know, some place up in the sky and we're just going to stay there and eat milk and honey. No, you know, the kingdom shall be on earth, yo, or we're going to be as gods among men. It says the temptations, persecutions, and afflictions that we encounter are the winds and waves that threaten our shipwreck. We have need of an anchor to keep us sure and steady, or we are in continual danger. Gospel hope is our anchor. As in our day of battle it is our helmet, so in our stormy passage through this world it is our anchor. It is sure and steadfast, or else it could not keep us so. First, it is sure in its own nature, for it is a special work of Yahweh in the soul. It is a good hope through grace. It is not a flattering hope made of spider's web. It is a true work of God. It is strong and a substantial thing. Secondly, it is steadfast as to its object. It is an anchor that has taken good hold. It enters into that which is in the veil. Right? It is an anchor that is cast upon the rock of ages, which is Yahweh Shai. Right? It does not seek to fasten in sands, but enters within the veil and fixes there upon Yahweh Shai. He is the object. He is the anchor hold of the believer's hope, right? As an unseen glory within the veil is what the believer is hoping for, so an unseen Yahweh Shai within the veil is the foundation of his hope, right? Because Yahweh Shai will be the one, is the one that has reconciled us to Yahweh Shai, and is the one that is going to deliver ultimately the promise when he returns for his second coming, because he's gonna destroy our enemies, right, and put us back into that land and give us glorious bodies. We're going to ultimately receive the promise, through Yahweh Shai's work, right? It says the free grace of Yahweh, the merits and mediation of Yahweh Shai, and the powerful influences of his spirit are the grounds of his hope, and so it is a steadfast hope. Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is the object and ground of the believer's hope, so it is a steadfast hope. Yahweh Shai is the object and ground of the believer's hope in several respects, right? So I'm gonna stop it there and not read, too much more, but brothers can read into it. You pick the meat from the bones, and hopefully this one's edifying, and exhorting to the spirit. Till next time, Shalom.